6 months ago, Andrew Tate decided he wanted to take over the internet. And boy, did he do that. As we've watched for 6 straight months, Andrew Tate has trended. He's been the most Googled man on the planet. And he continues to dominate the mainstream conversation. But in recent days, Andrew Tate has been taken off multiple social media platforms. And in some cases, not only was he taken off the platforms himself, but some platforms are actually taking off any content that has him in it. That is insane. We tend to live in a society that talks about actually encouraging free speech and being tolerant of views, whether we agree with them or not. But it brings into question, what exactly did Andrew Tate do to get kicked off all these platforms? Now, of course, his message is quite bombastic. He delivers it in a wrapper that is somewhat off-putting to some people. But that doesn't mean that he's wrong, nor does it mean that he should be kicked off of the platform. The true test of free speech is whether you allow someone else to say something, even if you disagree with them. And so, after being kicked off all these different platforms, Andrew Tate released his final message. He released it on a website, freetopg.com. And in it, he speaks for over 1 hour about his rise in popularity, what exactly is true and not true about his history, and what he thinks about deplatforming, free speech, and society moving forward. The first thing I took away from this video is that Andrew Tate is a master communicator. He understands how to communicate in the modern age. It's quite compelling to sit and watch someone talk for over an hour and simply share their thoughts without much editing and without anyone there to go ahead and knock them off their talk track. On top of that, there's a number of stories from Andrew's past that he clarifies, including things where people have said, hey, he's human trafficking. And he says, no, I was swatted. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but hearing the other side is important for the public discourse. Ultimately, Andrew Tate figured something out. He had a message that was delivered to millions and millions of people, and obviously a lot of people were receptive to it. There were also plenty of people who didn't like it. Part of popularity in today's world, where people are incentivized to drive clicks, is controversy. Whether we like that or not, we as a society need to hold up a mirror and look into it and understand the platforms incentivize this. So we shouldn't be surprised when someone figures out how to crack the algorithm. On top of that, I saw a number of people sharing the video saying, look, I don't ride with Andrew Tate, but I do ride with free speech. My prediction is that there's a pendulum and it's swinging back in favor of free speech. People are getting tired of deplatforming and censorship, regardless of whether they agree with someone's ideas or not. It's for you to decide what you agree with and what you don't. But we don't want to live in a world where somebody sitting in Silicon Valley can press a button and erase somebody from the internet. Now, there'll be plenty of critics that say he's not erased from the internet. He obviously has a website. He has an email newsletter. He can do many other things. While that is true, there's still a sense if you get removed from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, that's pretty much the most popular websites in the world. And so my one call to action to each of you, whether you like Andrew Tate or you don't, whether you agree with his beliefs or you don't judge someone by 6-second clips you see on the internet, regardless of whether it's a celebrity, a musician, an athlete, a politician, or an average citizen. 6-second clips taken out of context, that never gives you a good sense for who someone is or what they think. Instead, try to pursue content that gives you much more information. Go ahead and look for high quality, in-depth conversations. Understand the nuances of how someone thinks about a certain topic or issue. And if you want to understand the difference between the 6-second clips and the hyperbole that you've probably seen on the internet around someone like Andrew Tate, go watch the hour-long conversation that he has directly with the camera. My sense is that you'll walk away and say, it's a completely different person than I thought I was watching. Now again, it could be an act or maybe it's not. That's for you to decide. But again, we live in a society that incentivizes clicks, bombastic claims, and short videos. Make sure that you don't fall down the trap, because once you turn over your mental state and your mind to these platforms, they get to program you. Make sure that you're intentional about the content that you consume. Go and find the higher intelligence, longer form, the more nuanced content. That's where you're going to learn, and that's where you're going to get a better sense for the picture. And don't just fall into some sort of echo chamber. Make sure you seek out the other side of arguments. If you believe A, go find B. If you believe B, then go find A. That's how you'll actually get a better understanding of these issues and how you can actually think critically to form your own opinion. Society's in a weird place. There's lots of people who are vying for your attention. Make sure that you spend your time as intelligently as you can, and also Take pride in being a critical thinker, thinking for yourself, and not allowing a politician, a celebrity, or an algorithm to program how you think. Hey you, did you like this video? Great, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and see you next time.